Mr. Monk, for this very dense presentation and gives a lot of information of West Africa situation. And of course, we can understand that there are many actions that we should do to manage better the sediment transit in order to be better resilient in our coastal areas. In your presentation, you talk about river yields and especially in certain area of the West African coast. And I think that one of the river that is important is the Volta River. And I think it would be interesting to know better. And I think our friend from the Ghana and the Ministry of Environment is going to talk about that and explain how it's managing this sediment management. I don't know who is taking the floor in Ghana for the Ministry of Environment, but you have the floor.
Okay, I will share the slides for her to present the speech. So she will introduce herself when she starts.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Peace Gbeckor-Kove. I work with the Environmental Protection Agency, an agency under the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology and Innovation in Ghana, presented on behalf of Mr. Saderi, who unfortunately could not join us today. So the presentation from Ghana is titled Status of Coastal Erosion and Sediment Management in Ghana. Next slide, please. The West African coast has hello. Hello.
Oui, nous vous entendons.
We can, go on.
We can hear you. It's okay.
Okay, sorry. The West African coast has several functioning and more ecosystems that provide us with several ecosystem services. Due to the increasing population and increasing economic activities, and also unplanned urbanization of those coastal areas, and the use of the important resources that are found within the coastal zone, coupled in some areas also with the impact of climate change, it's putting so much pressure on coastal ecosystem. As a result, the coastal areas, including that of Ghana, are experiencing coastal erosion, flooding, pollution, leading to death and loss of assets and damage to critical ecosystem resources in some critical areas. In Ghana, the situation is not different. Coastal erosion has affected a lot of coastal communities. Studies have shown that rates vary from as little as 0 to 17 meters a year. Along the entire coast of Ghana, coastal erosion rates are higher. Coastal erosion rates are observed towards the eastern coast of Ghana. Another study shows that there are about 20 high-risk areas associated with coastal erosion, especially in the eastern coast of Ghana. And I'm referring to Blekusu, Anglo Beach, Keka and Anglo in the Volta region, and Ada in the Greater Accra region of Ghana. Next slide. Erosion has also affected or worsened flooding in some of these communities, especially those in the flood-prone areas, including the Volta Delta, where communities such as Fuveme, Keta South, and also Dansoman, Glife in the Greater Accra region, and Anglo Beach in the Central region experience flooding conditions when rains settle. The ability to anticipate and strategically plan and manage the coastal areas for development is very important in this situation. Some key sources of sediments from rivers and lagoons into the coastal belt and eventually into the Atlantic Ocean from the eastern section, from the eastern coast. We have notably among them the Keta River, or what in the Keta area is the Toji River, and then the Volta River, which is the largest, which covers a catchment area of 394,100 kilometers square. The Songo Lagoon and the Lalo Lagoon, all in the Greater Accra region. They contribute massively, and from the figures that I've shown, you could see that the Volta River contributes a significant amount of sediment to the beach area. Next slide. From the eastern coast, we come to the central coast. Notably, rivers that also contribute are the Sakumo One Lagoon, that's in the greater, the Ayensu Lagoon or the Ayensu River, the Inkwa River, and the Amansi Lagoon or the Ochi Amansi River. And from this ones too, you could see that the Sakmono, the Pra River, contributes greater yield of sediments to our coastal ecosystem. When you get to the western and some portion of the eastern coast, we have the Ankobra River, the Amanzuri Lagoon, the Dongun Lagoon or the Tano River. And before the Volta River was dammed, it was estimated that a total of 72,181 and the Volta River contributed a lot of sediments to the Volta Delta area. However, when a dam was built on it after 1965, there was a massive reduction in the source of sediments to the beach area. And this has resulted significantly in causing erosion and flooding in the eastern coast of Ghana. As the Volta River dammed at three areas actually. Upstream, we have the Bui Dam, which later joined in 2001. But prior to, the first one was built on the Akosombo River, on the Volta River in 1964. That's the Akosombo Dam, which is a major power that has a hydroelectric dam. Then downstream of the Akosombo Dam, we also have the Pong Dam also being put up. And this has contributed significantly to the reduction of sediment load to the downstream areas of the Volta River basin. When you also look on the eastern coast also, the Weja Dam that was constructed in 1978 on the Densu River has also reduced sediment discharge into the beaches in the east and central coastline of Ghana. Management sediments along the entire coast of Ghana due to erosion has brought about some setting up of protective structures. So we have notably among them, we have the groins and revetment or sea defense structures that have been put up to help manage the coastal erosion processes. So for the first one, we have the advanced sea defense structure that has groins, and these ones are to help to trap sediments which either two had been lost. Then we also have the Keta Sea defense. That is a combination of revetments and groins, and in some areas land was reclaimed from the sea by beach nourishment. Then another one in the eastern coast is the Gbeckor-Kove Sea Defense one, which consists of a number of revetments and groins. And then also when you go further up, we have the Keji. Between some groins have been installed between the Keji and the Adina area. So the map there is the various areas where number one on your map to your left or to your right is showing the location of the Adar Sea Defense. Then number two is showing you the location of the Anyani Sea Defense, whilst number 3 and number 4 refers to the Keta Sea Defense, the location of the Keta Sea Defense, and then the groins that were put up in Keji and Adina. The next slide is going to give you a summary of a number of protection structures and the reasons that they were put up for, and also gives you an insight of the various description of structures that have been put in. So from the eastern coast of Ghana, we start with the first one being the Adan Coastal Works. And the reason for putting that up was to offer protection to the Adan Township and also promote the areas of tourism and also enhance the salt industry, which is a livelihood for inhabitants in that area. The Adan Sea Defense Project commenced in 2012. And I have to say that some of these projects, most of them have been completed and some are still ongoing in various stages. For the Adan area, we have the structures that were put up included a number of armored rocks, armored rock groins, beach nourishment was done, and a total stretch area of 16,600 meters was protected in that area. When you go down east, further east, towards, as you move towards Togo, the Blekusu Protection Project also is to also offer protection to the Blekusu Township and stabilize the coastline from erosion. That project was started in 2014, and it consisted of armored rock groins that covers a total area of 4,300 meters. Further, you also have the Atoko Jita Anyani Emergency Sea Defense Project, and that is also to offer protection to the Jita and Atoko Township, and also to the coastal road that links the community all the way, covering that stretch. And that commenced in 2011 and consisted of armor rocks, revetments, and groin structures covering a total stretch area of 6,000 meters. Then the Keta Sea Defense Project. It's basically also to offer protection to the Keta Township from flooding, sea flooding in this case. And that project started in 2004. It consists of groins, revetments, and beach nourishment. Then quite recently, the Lingo Pram area in the Greater Accra region also has some projects initiated in 2019 to prevent inundation and claim and reclaim some of the coastal lands that have been inundated by water. It's covering a stretch of 5,000 meters, and it consists of a combination of revetments and groins. Then you come to the Sakmono Coastal Protection Project, more in the middle coastal zone. The reason for protecting that area is to protect, one, the railway line linking the national capital to the industrial city of Tema. And this was started in 2012. And it consists of a mixture of revetment, groins, and this protection was covered on a 5-meter stretch of the coastline. Then Another area that was offered protection is the Suman area. And to offer protection to Suma Township and also the Cambros Salt Factory. And it consists of revetments and groins. And this project was started in 2015 and covers a stretch of 2,000 meters. Then you go to the Takrade Sea Defense Project that's in the Western region. This is to offer protection to the Kumua Township and it's also a mixture of cement and groins. I have to say that the management of sediment in the country. Next slide.
Yeah, I think I'm on the next slide. Oh.
I'm done with the Takrade and the Cape Coast area.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Then on the Western coast, specifically in the Western region, we also have the Adzim Coastal Protection Project that's offering protection for the township of Adzim and also to promote, protect areas of tourist attraction and also to enhance the fishing industry there. This project started in 2018 and it consists of armor rock groins, jetties, and breakwaters. And this protection is being done on a stretch of 5,000 meters. Then we go to the Adwa Coastal Protection Area, also in the Western region. And then the Gbeckor-Kove Sea Defense Project, also in the Western region. They are all providing protection for the Adwa Township and the Gbeckor Township, respectively, and also to protect and enhance the fishing industry there in those areas. So you have the Adwa Coastal Protection Work starting in 2014, and it consists of 2 armor rock breakwater, and then it's of 1,900 meters length. And whilst the Gbeckor work started in 2016, and it also consists of armor revetments with beach stabilization for a coastal stretch of 2,400 meters. Next slide. Management of sediment has also been affected also by illegal gold mining in the coastal areas, specifically when we look at the Anglo Beach area in the central region. You have illegal gold mining occurring along the Fusu Lagoon and on the beach of this, and this also has increased the turbidity of the area. In the protection of the Adan stretch, which I previously talked about in the eastern coast, beach nourishment had been carried out, and a total of 0.6 million metric tons of sand was used to nourish the beach in the first phase. And in the second phase, we have 3.4 million metric tons of sediments being pumped and used to nourish the beach in the project area within the second year of the project. As earlier said, apart from the illegal mining of minerals on the coastal beach, sand winning is another challenge that we are facing, which removes sediments from the beach front. As we are all aware, sand winning causes a destabilization in the natural equilibrium of the sediments on the beach area, and at various points of the entire coastline, illegal sand mining has been occurring. And as you can see, the map is showing various areas where either gravel mining, a combination of sand and gravel mining, or quarry and sand mining have been taking place. I have to say that beach sand mining is illegal in Ghana. However, the activity still persists to people not not adhering to the laws. Next slide. So we come to the major question. Do we have policies in place in Ghana as a country to manage or mitigate erosion and sediment management in Ghana? There are two institutions that are responsible for management of the coast when it comes to issues dealing with protection and management of sediments in Ghana. Basically, it falls within the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology, and Innovation, and also the Ministry of Works and Housing. At the moment, there isn't a specific coastal management policy in Ghana, even though we have various policies. For the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology and Innovation, we have the National Environmental Policy, which mentioned coastal erosion as a challenge. However, didn't go into further details on how the process is to be managed. However, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Currently, the ministry is in the process of, is in the preparatory phase of drafting a national integrated coastal and marine management policy. And the issue of management of coastal erosion is high on the agenda for it to be done. And this process will involve various stakeholders in this area, within the coastal and marine area, so as to find a lasting solution to mitigate erosion and control sediments in our coastal area. Next slide. So hitherto, I have talked about the two ministries, the Ministry of Science, Technology, and Innovation, and under it, one of the agencies under it is the Environmental Protection Agency that has the mandate for the protection of the environment, and also the Ministry of Works and Housing that has the Hydrological Service Department, which is responsible for the programming and coordination of coastal protection works, construction and maintenance of storm drains countrywide, and the monitoring and evaluation of surface water bodies in respect of floods. Currently, these two institutions, vis-a-vis the ministries and then the agencies underneath them, the Environmental Protection Agency and the Hydrological Service, seems to collaborate in some areas. However, there is the need to enhance the further collaboration so that we approach the process of coastal erosion holistically. Next slide. I conclude by saying coastal erosion is a national issue. It has been occurring from time immemorial. Several governments has initiated sediment management measures, principally from the various overview that I gave. From the western to the eastern section of the coast, you could see that hard engineering and planning have been used to reduce the impact of sediment erosion. I have to say that management of coastal erosion in Ghana relies mainly on hard engineering, which involves the erecting of several structures to artificially stabilize the coastline. For now, over 20 coastal communities along the 550-kilometer stretch of the entire coastline of Ghana have some form of protection in the form of sea defense structures protecting these coastal communities. Considerations are, however, being made to improve the management approaches. Probably it is time we consider either the use of the hybrid approach, building with nature. Beach nourishment should also be considered in areas where possible after several research, and this should be backed by research. Sand mining, especially on the coast, is illegal, and the response institution should enforce this law. It is very important for Ghana to manage coastal erosion. Hence, there is the need for a policy to direct how these issues are done. Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup, Madame.
Thank you very much, Madam, for this presentation. That was very interesting, and it made the focus of the sediment management in Ghana, and you explained very clearly what are the factors that impacted, and also you explained the measures that were taken by your government to manage this problem. But actually, you said also in the conclusion that it is a national issue, but it's also a challenge on the regional level. These efforts, if we want them to be sustainable, we need to do it on the long run with a collaboration and cooperation with other stakeholders of the region. This is why we need to work on this matter, and this is actually the objective, the aim of the WACA program by